Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and it's time for a little Rails and Pipes pack here on the FTOG server, and I'm feeling a little sheepish. I am. In fact, I'm feeling a whole lot of sheepish. Sorry, Frank. I got me here 2 of each of the colors and 4 of the white, just because, you know, people tend to like more of the white. This is going to be the next project, is to set up a automatic shearing, storage, and dispensary setup, and, you know, similar to what I've already done, because why break up a good process? And I've been thinking where to put this, because, you know, it's not going here in my basement. It's gonna go probably close to where the community mob farm is that I set up in the last episode, because, you know, there's already access way there, and people could just, you know, go visit the sheep farm, because why not? But to get this to happen, I need a lot of terracotta, because that's my plans, is to make this out of terracotta. Good thing there's a terracotta mountain just south of me. Or north. I can't remember. I'm all confused. And here's the beginning of my sheep farm. You can see I've got terracotta sprinkled around, and the sheep down below. And it's working nicely for that. I've got plans for these elevator blocks, but this one, oh yeah, the mob farm is only about 115 blocks that way. But if I go down, zoop, this is the underside where I'm going to have a lot of the pipes and whatnot showing up to do the stuff that I need. And it should work out just fine. I think all the guts will be within a single block, he said, without really checking right now, but I'm sure that's the case. I have, although you can't really see it, there is another layer of dirt and underneath here. Okay, let's. There's the grass layer up here. There's a grass layer down below, and then I've got this ring of dirt grass on the outside. What that means is, even if these sheep were extremely active and ate up all the grass here, it would replenish itself. Because you don't want them to eat up everything, which would just be weird. Now, let's make a few things. In fact, I'm going to make this and that and those with a carpet. And that makes a pedestal from Reliquary. And then if you add some diamonds around that becomes a pedestal that you can turn on and off. I'm not sure if you can see the resolution. It's got a little dot in the center. So let's snag that. I am also going to need an item collector. Yes, item collector from Cyclic. And let's go down here. And I think that needs to go. Alright, so this I need to set to 11 by 11. Yes, that should be sufficient. In fact, let's turn on the preview. You can see where it's. Wow, it's going down below as well. How much above are you? I don't see it here. Yeah, I have one piece of glass that's, it should be. I don't, oh, it's in the blocks. That's why. That's why. What happened to, oh. It's very fast in catching the stuff, which is exactly what we're looking for. And how high? Yeah, see, I'm going to raise it up 1. I'm going to, wrong block. Yeah, this needs to go up 1, because then I can, this is a sneaky torch hiding right here. Did I lose that block? I think I lost the block, because I had 2 stone. Oh no, there was just the 1 stone. There was just the 1 stone. All right, let me grab another block. I need 2 blocks, because I'm changing things here, doing an audible on the line of scrimmage. Okay, because let's grab that, drop down, and go doink against that. The reason why, now, if I change this to 11 by 11, turn on the preview, It goes all the way to the, you know, it's missing one block up. Nope, 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 that works perfectly because this is a glass layer. So if you were to shear one of these sheep, or see it get sheared and you've got a magnet on, like I've got a magnet on, it's still within the area. It's still right there. It will still get caught. That's exactly what we're looking for. That is perfect. I didn't realize it went down as much as it did, and that snagged the terracotta. I just kind of like the terracotta look. It looks really cool. Anyway, let's turn off the preview. I want to go ahead and shear these sheep, but I don't want to do any work to shear the sheep. In fact, I'm going to take off my ring of magnetization. I'm going to put this pedestal right there in the center. Yes, that is in the center, and I right-click it, and now it's activated. But I need, let's get out, I need shears of winter, which I already have here, and I've been using them, and oh, they're really fun. Here, let me show you one thing that's really nice about the shears of winter. Drop down, shear. It instantly picked up by the item cut. There's no durability hit on the shears of winter, which is fantastic. Plus, if you right-click for a while, I just sheared all of them, and they're all going. That's little particle effects of them being cold right now, but they take no damage, so that's fine. But what I want with these, oops, yeah, I got to be perfectly aligned, otherwise I take a little damage there. What I want is to make these shears of winter, because I want to keep mine. Thank you very much. Those are mine, and I need something from this guy. Are you going to give it to me? Nope. Let's try that again. Let's try it with two of you guys. Alright, guys. I need stuff. What I need is this. The frozen core, which is a drop from these guys. Oh, it's a 10% drop. It's a very small percentage drop, and I've got looting 3, so that's going to affect it. So I was hoping that 3 of the snowmen would work, but it doesn't. Oh well, I'm going to use in here my shears of winter, and I'll make me another set for me to take. So you just right-click on it. There, you hear that? It is shearing all the sheep. And then the item collector is just automatically picking them up. And it has a range of 9. It's like, oh, I think it's counting various sheep and finding sheep that are already shorn. Oh, tell me you have a range of 9 and not 7. Because those guys against the edge, they're not getting shorn, are they? When I tested this, it had a range of 9. Because anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. I need one more piece of glass because I can seal them in. There, I really don't need to go in there anymore. Anyway, that will go ahead and do its job of shearing them. And if we take a look, it's doing a gangbuster's job of grabbing those up. So next, I need to process this. I need to collect these drops from here, and I'm also thinking, because I've done that before over there at the community farm, XNet is an excellent way of doing power and also doing item movement and collection and fluids, and all of those things are fantastic. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's not. No, it seems like it reached that far guy over there. Those guys are not. He did. Okay, it's working. That's working out. Next, I need to, once I've got a collection system and a storage stuff, I'm going to set up 4 dispensers around each of these 4 sides, because that works out really well. There's 16 colors, and that way there will be a color for each of the wools. And that's the plan. That's why this is a very regular rectangular sort of shape, because there's 16, 4 on each side. I'm going with that. Alrighty, a whole bunch of stuff done, and I got my nebulous heart, no, the frozen heart from the snowmen. Let me play you a little clip here. I made a bunch more snowmen and killed them all. And of the 10, I got 1. So that was good enough for me. I'm glad. But boy, howdy, I expected looting to do much better. But the random number generator was not in my favor. Anyway, stuff. Yes, I went ahead and completed the structure. And because because the mob farm I did in terracotta, because I hadn't really done anything with terracotta, I went with the terracotta, and I used white marble, because white terracotta looks ugly, and so I decided I'd go with the white. Also, it made that easier to see the mobs, in the darkness. Anyway, I went with the regular terracotta here, played with it a little bit, and decided that it needed a different color, and it also needed a whole bunch of textures. You've got some stuff bumping out, so it's got some depth in there as well. And these are just chisel textures on there. I like black glass. So that's what typically I go with everything, and a little bit of iron to kind of hold things together. And you can see there's 2 floors. Well, this is a roof, but it's a floor. And we do have, jump down, elevators here to get around. And you can see we've got there's a precision dropper like I used before, and I've got these wool here so you can see what the color is. Plus, we've got them here, and you can see it going close. And we got all 16 colors here, going from white, which is 0, all the way to black, which is 15. That's the 16 colors. And if we go up one, we've got drops. These are the honey drops that come from the different colored bees, and you can use all of these in lieu of any dye. So not only do we have all the wools here, we've got all the dyes, which is very, very handy. And for that, I have to thank Dr. Artemis, who helped with this. He provided the bees. In fact, if we go down, actually, before I do that, let me do one last thing. Let me rename this. Because to get them to pop up and show up, they need to be renamed. Pick that back up. And the gray guy goes there. Now, if we go down here, the gray wool, the way I got these to work is I actually added a space at the end of the name. And you can see that in that little, the title, there's a little space over to the right. that because you can't get the name without some change, and if you take away the space, add the space, take away the space, it still won't do anything. Anyway, let's head on down here. Some stuff and things. Yes, the bees are going like bananas, and initially I just tossed the bees around, and I didn't care because it doesn't matter which ones are where, but because I noticed that the bees are flying around like crazy, I decided to put the colored bees underneath the droppers. So if we look carefully, there's the magenta. Nope, I lied. Purple. This is the purple bee, and you can see the purple bees coming down to the apiary below them, and those blue bees. We got some light gray bees coming in. Here's pink bees. It's very subtle, and I'm not sure you can see it in the small resolution that YouTube gives you, but it's subtle. The colors are still matching up, so I like that. Anyway, I really do appreciate he supplied me 16 of these industrial apiaries, a queen for each of these, and an automation upgrade, which means when these guys break down into the princess and drone, then it just automatically feeds them back in and proceeds on, which is handy, because when they first died, I was going, hey, why'd they stop? And he said, well, did you put the upgrade in? I went, nope, I completely forgot about the upgrade. So those are in place. I went ahead and made some centrifugal separators. I made 4 of them and upgraded them to the top tier so that hopefully they would be plenty. And they processed all of the stuff really fast. And so as we see right now, nothing's going through any of these. Right now, no. That one's going right now. There it goes. Boom, done. It's really fast, which is really cool. So power. Everything is power here, and this is the controller. And similar to what I did before, I just have these connectors here, and this thing's doing triple duty. It's got the dropper up above, the apiary here, and the centrifugal separator down below. Keep wanting to call it a centrifuge, but no, it's not. Anyway, this one's doing triple duty, so I didn't have to make as many of these. Anyway, this goes up and up to the second floor, to the ones up above, and it's all hidden with what sits in and not. Anyway, I programmed into these drawers here all of the colors in the order that they show up. You know, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 15, the metadata. Likewise, here's the combs, and down here are the drops. And so that's working. We also have a little extra. This is honey drops and wax that is produced. I've got 2 slots for anything else I need. But in any case, the way I program this, it takes 3 channels. That's it. First one is power, because all of these droppers need power, as well as the centrifuges, as well as these are the centrifuges. Yeah, okay. Centrifuge, and also the actual controller itself, although it's right next to the power, so it's fine. Anyway, so power, that takes care of everything. And I wish I could easily see how much is being used. I really don't. That may be... Don't know. It looks like it's pretty okay. Anyway, the second thing is stuff in. And by that I mean stuff going into the drawer controller. And because I had already programmed these things, it's just one piece in, which is really nice. So I'm extracting anything that's being grabbed by that item collector, which is wool. And I am also extracting from the apiaries anything that they deliver out. Now, there's nothing on here. I'm just saying extract, stack, done. That's all I did with those. And then likewise, these centrifuges, I did the same, extract, stack, and they all insert into the drawer controller. Now, the next one is stuff out. And to get that to work, it's coming out by stack. So it's going as fast as it can, and then it's going to insert stuff. And so this here, I just grabbed a comb, and for these 4 centrifuges, it's a comb. And because all of these are off, any comb will go in. And it just is going to shove it wherever it can, and it really doesn't matter. And I'm wondering if it goes top to bottom, which means this one's going to get it first, and then this one, and then, or just round robins. I don't know. But in any case, that takes any comb, even though you can see the different combs I had when I played with it. That will take any comb, and it's just fine. Now, as far as inserting into the various various droppers, you can see the connector here says wool white. That tells me it's on the bottom floor, wool, and it's expecting white. And so I came into here and I put in the wool, the white wool, and I flagged these. So it has to be this wool and nothing else. And I think probably just metadata is all it needs, not the MBT. That's spells and whatnot. But I just flagged them both because why not? Now, what I did do to make life easy when I put in the drops, because that's down here, the various drops, this just says gray because they're not wool, they're up above. I toggled this to stop processing this channel so that it wouldn't just feed things in, because as soon as you say insert, there's nothing here. It just starts firing in stuff as fast as it can. And I found that with the wool. I filled up my first 3 droppers with all the wool, and they were all the colors. So that wasn't so good. So I disabled it to the second round, put in the proper honey drop, turned these on, and when that was all done, then I turned on the channel. In fact, if we come over here and take a quick look, there's a few things that have been snipped up from the wool, a few combs that have come in, and none of these coming out, so it's not being processed. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn that back on. And yeah, turn on. And so that will start going through and processing. There's the comb of, yep, went from 1 to 0. And so that works out very, very nicely. So stuff out is coming out of the storage drawers. And so the extract here is the drawer. It's pretty much just an inverse. Why do I have a controller with an extract? There's no need for the controller to have an extract. The stuff in, stuff out should be exact opposites from each other. So, you know, like I'm extracting out of these centrifuges and I'm inserting in because they need to process. Everything else, we're extracting out of the apiaries only, and we're inserting into the droppers only. So yeah, it's pretty simple, just the three, which I like. For a second, when I realized that these bees had fallen apart, I was thinking I'd have to program them specifically for each of these, and that would be a lot more work, but didn't have to. Yay! And I really have to thank Dr. Artemis for helping out with that. And this is working out really, really nicely here. I'm going to do a quick sleep because I want to show off something. Oh, yes, he was telling me range upgrades on this. He added rock, so they eat rocks instead of go out to flowers. Night, meaning they will work at night as well as day. Cave, meaning they don't need to have sky access. They're extra fertile. They have a longer ability to handle different humidity and temperature ranges where they need longest range, so they can seek out food, rock in this case, longest life, and fastest production. So yay, which is very handy. And because not everybody's going to be able to easily come over here, I figured I'd set up a way of getting back and forth to the Overworld mob farm, which is right over there. And that island causes a lot of lag. So this is what I did to set this up. I like using the aluminum scaffolding, because what else am I going to use aluminum for? Nothing, so I'm using it for that. This is the Railcraft cart dispenser and cart detector, and for simplicity I've got the little red alloy wire. I love how that sticks, and because this was hanging up, I used a fence I had. So anyway, this is the block craftery pressure plate that only reacts to players. And I put the obsidian on that because that's kind of a, I think Ender.io does that. I can't remember, but I think Ender.io does. So this has some carts in it, and you stand on it. It dispenses because that pushes a signal into the dispenser. If for some reason you got one of these and you didn't want it to dispense, you just jump back on, and that will suck it back up. So anyway, let's grab that. You jump in and then push forward with your arrow key to start moving. And there's Dr. Artemis over there, and it's going to stutter and stagger and have all sorts of problems here as it's rendering in those. Done. Okay. Still rendering. All right. I think I'm pretty much done. Okay. Anyway, so that comes back here, and when this cart detector detects a cart, it will send a pulse which tells the dispenser to suck it back in, and away it's done. And I had 5 in both sides, but I went back and forth a couple times. I'll even it back out. So there's the access for the people on the server to get into the nether portal right there. And then if they want some wool or dye, they can just ride that, or run overland, or fly, or ender pearl, or whatever they want to do. These are some of the various trophies I got down below. I thought this guy would groan. That guy explodes. Does no damage, but explodes. Nothing there. This one's fun. Shoots a bunch of arrows up. And then you want to step back because they will come back down. And they despawn after a little bit. They don't go up very high, but they will do damage to you, which is loads of fun. And this guy will spit out an ender pearl. There it goes. And then when it lands, you get teleported there. So, hey. Oh, I hit it twice. Anyway, so frames. Those islands over there, you can see they're rendering in. Oh, that's painful. I don't know why it is so painful. I don't know. I took one of them. You can see there's a big patch of darkness down below. And I really couldn't light that up because it's water. But there were fallen water, and I got rid of all of those. And there were some vines growing down, and I put string to stop that. And further over there, because I was just having fun, I lit up everything down below just to stop mob spawning in case that was a thing. There's something about it. Maybe it's all the darkness underneath, all that lighting that has to be done. But you can see there's a little chunk gone right there. That's because Dr. Artemis is using his RF Tools Builder to just chew this down. His idea is to go ahead and just chew down this entire island. And hopefully that'll stop a lot of this lag that you get over here, which is really annoying. And it's got to be all client-side lag. It's when you come over here and it's loading in, you just stagger. It is not much fun. But anyway, there we go. We've got a very nicely working wool and dye shop over here now. Oh, I didn't mention, and I should have, they are programmed to spit out stuff every 2 seconds and a quarter of a stack at a time, so 16 at a time. Just because, I figured you don't need to spit out huge amounts. Let's come and say green, because got a bunch of that. You stand here, and every 2 seconds, it spits out to you 16 wool. To do that, I went ahead and set the delay to 40. Oh, I also set it to requires redstone. And then I also set the count to 16. And the problem is that count thing is right over. So I used the arrow keys when I was highlighting it to do that. And get back in there, you. I think what I should do, and I may do that just in case people say, oh, I got way more than I needed. Some way of depositing stuff in. This is claimed as well as that's claimed, just because this is a public server. Anybody can jump on here, and I want to prevent people from being jerks coming in here and messing things up. And so you don't have rights to do anything, but you can stand, which is why pressure plate there and pressure plates in here. Now what I'm thinking is if I had something set up like I'm pondering something that would allow items to go in here, or because we've got the item collector that will collect anything here. If we had a hopper, because you could just toss stuff into the hopper, and if it was feeding into like the Britannia open crate, the hopper would just automatically just feed stuff and it would drop down and get picked up into the system. Then I would need something that would spit stuff back out that doesn't match wool or the honey drops, which means I'd have to figure out some stuff back there. I'll play with that and I'll think about that. Oh, did you notice? Torches? Torches? Do you see any torches around here? No, you don't, because we got sneaky blocks. This is a sneaky torch block right here. Use that. It's a sneaky torch, and I love these things. If you look at the recipe, it's just a torch and a sneaky block. And a sneaky block is just stone with dwindle cream, and that's just wither dust and any slime ball. And what else are you really going to be using wither dust for? So you make some of those, you plop them in place, and they provide light like a torch, plus they're a solid block that you can stand on. Then you just hit them, right-click them with any block, and it takes that shape. So that's a sneaky block. That's a sneaky torch there. There's sneaky torches right there. You can see a little bit of the light difference on some of those. These are sneaky torches. And we hop up a little bit more. That's a sneaky torch. There's another sneaky torch here in the corner, just to light up everything. Because if we look at the lights, everything is good, and nothing could spawn there because of the glass. And I haven't lit up around here, but I don't care because I got the torch. So it's safe. I haven't seen any mobs riding back and forth as I have. I've not seen any mobs in this area. I think the radius of this torch is sufficient, and the radius of that torch is sufficient to stop these. And I did put a chunk loader in here because I want the bees and the sheep to have enough time to process and fill up the stuff. When everything is filled up and we've got lots and lots of backup, then I'll remove this. There's no need for all of this to process on the server over and over and over when we have lots and lots. You know, just part of being a nice server player. And, you know, I like to stand on top of this, and then I realize I just sink right through. that would be nice to stand on. Anyway, let's just go ahead and miss. I was going to stand right on. There we go. There we go. Ooh, wait. Future Grok here. I just did something, and I figured it needed to go into this episode. I tethered a sheep to the wool farm because I figured, why not? You know, I had access to the wool, lots and lots of white wool. That was like 10 stacks. And I had the terracotta and the dye, so I could do the little dyeing. And I think that works out pretty nicely. And I had fun with the immersive engineering tether here. That's just one of those coils, whatnot. I like it. I like it a lot. And it needed something silly. So, and I'm thinking when you come in from a distance, you'll see this sheep hanging along there. Anyway, since I wanted to add this to the version, or the video while it's rendering, I'm going to have to sneak it in near the last, so don't tell past Grok. So, there we have it. A community wool and dye shop. Thank you, Dr. Artemis. And hopefully the lag will be gone as soon as the islands are gone. And feel free, come jump on the server, and you've got access to wool and dyes. All of them. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here talking about the Rails and Pipes pack here on the FTOG server and having a blast. And thanks for watching.